each other. Last time they'd met up, Claudia had screamed at Poppy, telling her that, at 25, she had fucked her life up and destroyed Mum and Dad. So Poppy had thrown a wine glass that had shattered all over Claudia's chest. The next morning, Poppy had got up and left, and they had not spoken since. And now, Claudia was getting married in a week. Last to arrive would be lovely Dylan, a crucial element for the marriage. His presence would help diffuse any tension between the siblings. That was the kind of man he was. Soothing, reassuringly sane. Claudia was perched at a solid oak island, so close to the gas stove she could reach out and grab her mother if she wanted. The island was too big for the space, of course. It always had been. But Rachel had fallen in love with it, and when she fell in love with something, her steely determination to make it work could only be worn down over painful decades. The kitchen was old, but all the utensils were brand new, bought on a glossy magazine-abetted rampage. She had not bothered to replace the stove, although it was entirely possible it was older than her. But her knives, toaster and kettle all matched, and all gleamed. Claudia had spent her late teenage years living in the house, an inheritance from Rachel's mother. But today she was not comfortable here. Why wasn't she comfortable here? When had this town stopped being her home? "I thought you would be more excited." Rachel glanced across the kitchen island and eyed Claudia, who kept her head down. She was fiddling with her ring. "I am," Claudia responded brightly. "Your dress is beautiful. You're going to look beautiful. Don't worry about that," her mother said. "And you look very slim. You've always been so slim," Rachel continued admiringly. "Yes, well," Claudia said, picking at her ring again, before looking up and smiling sweetly back at her mum. "I've always had such motivation." Her mother let the comment blow past her, a piece of interloping dust, never to be thought of again. Rachel had endured a lifetime of commentary from her own mother about her weight, who had endured a lifetime of commentary from her mother. You might as well feel guilty about the sky being blue if you were going to feel guilty about teaching a girl her size mattered. Despite being in her 60s, Rachel remained a very attractive woman. She was the only mother at the high school gates who had not conceded her femininity by cutting her hair short. She wore her silver-streaked hair carefully styled with 3 blow-dries a week. Sometimes, just looking at her mother's figure made Claudia want to sit down, contemplating the sheer amount of effort that went into maintaining it. The daily cycling, the aqua aerobics classes, the pacing around the house with weights strapped to her ankles, the measuring out of portions. Rachel was the kind of thin that required an immense amount of time and effort, daily self-denials that ensured she remained under 60 kilograms when over 60 years of age. On top of all of that, Rachel was just pretty. Radiant, even. This hadn't quite been passed on to any of her daughters, who had been polluted by their father's genes, their eyes slightly too far apart and mouths too narrow. Even with youth on their side, they did not feel they had a patch on their mother, something they had each made an uneasy peace with towards the end of their teenage years. Rachel shifted from one bare and pedicured foot to the other. "I'm still not sure about the bridesmaid dresses, you know," she said. Claudia exhaled. She had not wanted a bridal party, but her mother had called her sobbing about the prospect of her sisters being left out of the wedding. "It will look so odd if you are standing at the front of the church with nobody around you," she had wailed down the phone. So Claudia had acquiesced, just as she had by agreeing to a church venue. She had wanted a garden wedding, and to holding it in Winston. She and Dylan had originally wanted to marry in a coastal village halfway between the towns in which they'd grown up. "If I'm going to have bridesmaids, I definitely do not want